People always try to compare championships to different seasons. It's nothing like my senior year. It meant so much. Just that whole year of how the whole community came together, how all my classmates, all my teammates, it was truly a championship for, Benedictine. I'll never forget when we was at Ohio State at the state championship. We came in early, and I want to say it was just a football team, but if you look, it was truly a lot of fans. The people's parents, people's grandparents, everybody came out and just showed us so much support. And
Friday Night Lights should have been made here. I remember the first game I played, and it was against Massillon. And Massillon had like 3 or 4 players that went to Michigan, and we sat in Paul Brown Stadium, and I walked out, and my brother was going crazy because my oldest brother, he played linebacker, he a nut just like me, but at the time I was still kind of sane. So I'm sitting there looking at him, and he running out in the field. We ended up, playing a great game. I think we beat him by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Overall, the players that I played with and the guys that we were around, man, a lot of them are successful, and they came from that state championship team. Pretty cool.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. First group, receivers, DBs. Receivers, DBs. Outside linebackers, end zone. I see that ball at the end of your elbow. That means it's not tight enough. I can see the tip of that ball. You tired already? So that means I can't use you in the fourth quarter. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, it was, weird times, getting sent home in March last year, but coming back together and being together, it was great, building those bonds. But waking up every day, going to practice, it was tough. You have to have that self-motivation to go to practice because nobody knew if we were gonna have a season. Up until first game week, we still didn't know if we had a season. It's kind of just like a waiting game. I remember after those practices, we would always wait for DeWine to talk and make an announcement, but I mean, we just kept on getting the green light and staying motivated through those practices and working hard.
I think that was the worst part, like every day seeing new updates and seeing like the governor, what's he gonna do today? Practicing was almost in the back of some people's heads, like, why are we running? What if we don't have a season? Like, why are we conditioning? Why are we doing all this for nothing? And so it's definitely hard to make sure everyone had the right mindset to keep practicing and going hard.
In a normal season, you get your two-a-days to prepare mainly for your first week one. Our first week one originally was to be Shaker, and then it changed to Strongsville, and then it changed again. So you just had to basically get used to a team on the fly.
Coach Good, stressed to us that we got to stay ready. I always stay ready, whether we're gonna have a season or not. And if we're gonna have a season, we were gonna be ready for it.
I think every game was almost flipped, upside down. So our schedule got totally rearranged, starting at week one.
I mean, it's for sure a different type of grind, being outside in that hot sun on the turf. What motivates me is looking to my left and my right and seeing my brothers putting in the same work, knowing that they're working for me and I'm working for them. That's what just keeps me motivated.
I never really realized the value of scrimmages and a 10-week season until really after this season. Because thinking back, scrimmages were, even starting for 3 years, it helps you readapt and get comfortable. It's big for the team. It's also really big for the coaches, to see what you can and can't do. That game against Warren Harding, it really showed that, neither team really had a scrimmage, and it affected both teams offensively and defensively.
We loved being together. We played, 4 years together, and we got used to being around each other and working hard. We knew how to push each other. So even when we were getting down, we're like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to play together for our last season. Well, it gets canceled or pushed back, and if it got pushed back, some people who played baseball, they wouldn't be playing football. So it all kind of factored in. But we all just, no matter what happened, we didn't want to think about the future. We just thought, okay, we're here now, we're working now, let's work hard, let's push each other, and let's get excited in the weight room, get excited in the field, and that's all we did.
When we finally got the official that we'll be playing week one, we were excited because we've been working all summer. So.
I walked onto the field and it was a normal feeling. Like I was supposed to be here and we were supposed to come out and show what Benedictine's about.
Coach Good, he's always stressed to us, we're gonna put our defense up first. Last year I feel like that was our struggle point. So, he's been stressing to us over the summer that, when we get the chance, we're gonna put our defense up and show what we could do. And I feel like he definitely gave us an opportunity to display that this year.
They always say defense wins championships, so that was something that was huge for us, especially in that game where the other team's going to get the ball and we're just going to get it right back because you trust those guys to make plays and make tackles for us.
They really watched our film from last year, and last year we had close to 2,000 rushing yards just in the regular season. Jalen was the first team all-state running back, so I think they definitely knew what our plan was. They were going to run the ball. So they had the big 400-pound nose right in the middle. They had 2-3 technique. They were packing it. So we were trying to get a little bit going, and we'd get chunks here and there. But then once we started hitting it, we did a little play action. The first one was insane because the way Ronnie threw it just straight on a line. I couldn't believe how it got that far and how he just ran and he just got under it and caught it. But definitely the most impressive one was the second touchdown, the 50-yarder. So I remember we're in the huddle right before that play, and we're like, "What are we gonna do, Coach?" And so Coach Previsk, he told us, line, just slide left protection. So we set up. He said, "Okay, Ronnie, I just want you to take 3 steps back. I just want you to throw it as far as you can." And he goes, "Marv, just beat that guy. Just go catch it." And I remember I was taking my steps. And it's a weird way to say it, but I could almost hear the ball come out of Ronnie's hand, like, shoo! And I just look up and I just see Marv running for it, and that was like the most beautiful sight I've ever seen. And then he caught it and he scored, and that was about it. But that was a beautiful moment. That was really intense.
Marv's a big time player. He's a hard worker, and I trust him. I put the ball up there, he's gonna go get it. That was his job. He catches the ball. He does his job. And I had trust in all my receivers, from Chris Gales, Angelo Lott, to Marvin Conkle. I had trust in all of them. I think that's where that bond comes in, because when I trust him and he trusts me, that's unstoppable when you have a big time player like Marv.
Well, as the clock reaches double zeros, time runs out. First game in the 2020 season, the Bengals come out on top, 24-17 over the Warren Harding Raiders.
It was a good game. We didn't play the best, but I think we definitely all got better. We all synced in together, and we found out that we could play together as a team and be a really good team this year and compete.
Everybody was excited after that and ready for week 2.
So my sophomore year, I wasn't playing yet, but we lost.
We just had to go in knowing what happened 2 years ago, not forgetting about it, keeping that fresh in our minds. Basically, that was just a big goal. Talking about the score all through practice.
It was not a fun game. That was rough. All those sophomores came up as seniors, and that's who that team was this past year. And we wanted revenge on them. We knew what we had to do. So we prepared all week. We had a great week of practice, and then we came out on Friday or Saturday, whenever it was, and we proved to everyone that they couldn't handle us anymore.
Yeah, St. V's, has always been a great team to play against. The past 2 years hasn't really turned out as we wanted to. So our focus this year is really, how are we gonna, come back to those losses of previous years? How are we gonna, face adversity? So we came in, kind of build off the momentum from the past week. Our offense played well, defense played well. I had an early field goal in the game, 42-yarder, so that put us up early, and had a very critical 42-yard field goal right before half that kind of gave us some good momentum heading into the second half, which, I think that really helped.
Second half, we started to see the emergence of sophomore running back.
Yeah. Yeah, he changes the whole pace of the game. A lot of people, when he comes off, he's not the biggest running back, so people might underestimate him. When he gets the ball, he is gone. He's moving right away. His first cut, I don't get how he does it.
I just basically told him, because I'm with him in the running back group, so I told him me and Gary, we're taking snaps on defense. You know, you got to step up. And, you know, I told him it was his time. You know, you got to step up and show out.
It was just finally watching him grow from freshman to sophomore and basically playing like he was a senior, like an upperclassman. It was just, wow, you really been working.
I don't know. Like, I just got in. I just did my thing. Like, I knew I always can do my thing. I was just waiting to show it.
And to be honest, I didn't know he was that good in the back. You know, so I think it caught all of us by surprise, and it really boosted the entire offensive line. You know, it's just like, okay, we got a guy in there who can hit these holes and who can hit them hard, and you know, we're getting yards running the ball.
I was so happy for Angelo after that game. He didn't play week 1, so you know, for him coming in week 2, having 3 receptions, I mean, you know, that's anyone's dream right there. So I mean, he had a fabulous game, and I think just all around he played very well as a team.
I was thinking I was being a little too excited, something like that. I personally thought, oh, he's about to break Stoff's record this year. Because Stoff had, 13 or so picks last year? And when I seen him catch 3 in that game, no, we got 4 more games to go. But yeah, you can break that. It's
easy. So going into that game, you know, St. Vincent St. Mary, they're always a competitor. They're always a physical team. I think at that time they were ranked like 17 in the area. So, I mean, it was kind of a hyped up game. We knew in the back of our minds what happened sophomore year. You know, we got absolutely killed by them, so we kind of wanted to give it back to them. We knew that with the schedule that we played, there was no off weeks. So if we played Warren, St. Vincent Mary, Hoban, Massillon, it doesn't matter. They're all gonna come and they're gonna try to win, especially with the name Benedictine, home of the champions. Every week a team's trying to knock us off. They want to be the champions, but you know, we have to walk in every week, you know, and like live up to that name. So going into that week, you know, same thing. We practiced hard, competed in practice. I felt we had a pretty good offensive game. Dwayne Jackson coming in that second half and you know, creating that spark for us. I mean, a young kid, sophomore. You had a sophomore running back and then a junior wide receiver, Marvin, and then a Relly. It was great. They created the spark for us, and our defense played well, and it was a good game.
The margin for error is very small.
I actually used to play flag football when I was younger, and I used to be a running back, but that was in way back in 2nd grade.
We need to stay loose. We need to just play our game, stay loose, don't make any mistakes.
I thought when they broke the line, I got the ball. The snap actually skidded against the turf, and I wasn't sure if I could get it off in time because the guy was about 6 or 7 yards away, I just made a decision just to run it out wide. If I'm not gonna kick it and get it blocked and then have it be closer to the end zone, I'm at least trying to get as far as I can and get it away from our end zone. And I got 15 or 10 yards. But it was not the result I was expecting. It wasn't a smart decision, but it was a decision I made. Not proud of it, but I'm not mad about it at the same time. And I didn't even make the call saying that I was running it. I just ran it because I was just in the moment and just didn't even think about it. I just got the ball and ran. But it's definitely a life lesson to call it out if something's wrong.
That week 3, I think, was the best week of practice we've ever had. I personally at least, was sick of that team. I wanted to beat them so bad. And I mean, I can't talk for everyone else, but I think there was a pretty good, strong feeling towards that.
Hello, Bengal Nation, and welcome to the new home of the Home of Champions here at Euclid High School football stadium, where the Bengals will be taking on the Knights of Akron-Hoban. Akron-Hoban is the current Division II champions, and tonight's contest is a big one as the Akron-Hoban is rated #1 in the Plain Dealer Top 25 poll in the Cleveland area, with an elevation to that spot with a sound win over the St. Edwards Eagles, 35-0. Nice trot out on the field. At number 10 is the quarterback, Shane Ham. Shane Ham is a senior this year, looking to finish off his career, I'm sure, with another state championship. One back in the backfield, he takes the hike and he gives it number 21. He goes around the end, he broke containment. He's got a lot of room to run. That's number 10 right there.
It was definitely a game that we wanted. Definitely a game that we should have won. But you know, things don't happen as they're planned to be. So all four years here, they always been, kind of a rival game. And I'll say it as many times. That was one of the most physical games I've ever been in.
Gives it to Dawson again, and he's wrapped up right there at the line of scrimmage. Big play by the defense.
Going to that game, you look at all those newspapers, all those articles saying that Hoban's gonna win, Hoban's the favorite. And I mean, we always had it in the back of our minds going into practice, and we were just so sick of losing to them. Those are the type of games that, that's why you play football.
Get the ball again, and he's gonna be stopped. Stop short, yes.
I mean, those close games, win or lose, that's why you play football. You don't want to go in and beat a team 64-0 every week. You want to play for those games that you win or lose 24-31. Looking back on it, we knew that Hoban again had a great team, great senior class they have over there. They were probably the favorite to win states that year. We wanted to make our name known.
Straight up the middle, Jackson. Wow, it was blown up right there. Screen pass, catch the football, wide open, one man to beat.
Just playing a team like that, the margin for error was so small, and the errors we did make that game is what ultimately cost us the game.
Through on his first attempt. Ball is up, and the ball is good. Schultz on the center, turns, give the ball off. Merrill bounces, outside touchdown. 3rd and 5. Even though the clock's not moving here, we got to get it in faster when it is moving. 2 men in motion. 2 men in motion.
There was more we could have done to win that game, but I was really proud of the team, for coming out and for fighting. It was a tough pill to swallow at the time, but I feel like that was a game where us not having scrimmages really showed up, where some of the mistakes that we made kind of came back to bite us towards the end of the game. But yeah, I was proud of the team, but it was a tough loss.
Looking back on it, honestly, in the moment, I was thinking, whoa, what? We have another play. What is this? Looking now, the next day, looking at it, thinking about the plays, we did not have another play. I know that for sure. It was the right call, but they should have done it differently. They should have told us more and having us understand what down we had so that we could have prepped more. But, they got a close game with the state champs, and so you get what you get.
Well, I'd say just going down playing at Paul Brown Stadium was such a cool experience for us seniors. I mean, we've never played Massillon, let alone at Massillon Stadium, so that was definitely a game to remember. But once again, we were competing with that team. I mean, we definitely had opportunities in that game where we could have took advantage and we could have won that game.
Honestly, we just had to stay disciplined. Too many penalties, so that played a part in us losing the game. So definitely penalties.
That is Floyd. Excuse me, Rogers. Chris, touchdown! Bengals!
That was a game that I thought caught all of us off guard. Not just as a defense or offense, the whole team really. There were also a lot of mistakes made in that game that, shouldn't have been made and that can't have been made. Same thing with Hoban. They're a very talented team, and the margin for error was just as small.
They're a big physical team, offense and defensive side. That game, I turned the ball over a little bit too much. I think that's where things went wrong. I made some mistakes, but you have those games, good games, bad games, but you just have to bounce back to it. It was a good game. Our defense did well. They gave the ball back to us when we needed it, just the offense couldn't convert, and that's from me turning the ball over too much and drop passes and all that stuff. So, it was just kind of probably our most, the sloppiest game of the year for us. And when you play those type of caliber teams, you just cannot have that.
I feel like we just went out there too lackadaisical. I feel like, because since we blew them out the year before that, it was going to be one of our easier games that we were supposed to win. But, they ended up winning because, they just wanted it more. And that's just how it was.
Under center, I formation, Jackson fakes it to him. He's looking deep, nobody's open. He's going to try to run it, try to get but smart play there by Gales, not to block, and Schultz is down.
Yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking. Just, Ronnie is a good friend of mine. We play on the football team and baseball team together, so to see him go down like that, it really hurt. And it was just really sad for all of us because Ronnie put in so much work over these past 4 years to be our quarterback, and it was just sad seeing him go down like that.
So I kind of came in from a public school. Obviously, my dad went here, my uncle went here. Me and my dad had the same name, Ronnie Schultz. So living out that legacy, I had the option to go to other places. I didn't want to. I wanted to be here just because I knew what this place stood for. We're called the home of champions, and that's how I kind of live my life, is being a champion in everything I do, no matter if it's schoolwork, working out on the field, or just being a man. So I wanted to be here. playing quarterback and my dad being quarterback, it was kind of cool, like seeing us, because you have those alumni that stand up in the corner and they remember every single player from the 1960s. Kind of have this joke at home. I tell him that I was better than him. I'll be remembered as the Ronnie Schultz, not him. They'll kind of forget about him. So I'm hoping that's what happens. But I honestly, I don't know. We've definitely looked at all the tapes. I would say I would be better just because if I say he's better, I won't hear the end of it. Definitely going down was tough, but as a captain of the team, you can't let it have it seeing that it affects you that bad. So kind of just holding your head up high and keeping hope. I rolled out to my left, I got tackled from behind and just twisted weird. It's definitely not what I wanted, how I wanted to end my senior year, but that's just how life goes. Sometimes you can't control the uncontrollable. The game's a physical game. It could happen to anybody. So I can't turn, look, and point fingers at anybody. It's just how the game works and what happens. So you can't dwell on it and have that look at your whole Benedictine career football, and you can't have that shining moment of what happened. You got to look at all the good things that have happened over the past 4 years and all of you accomplished, and that's kind of where I kept my head, my mindset through the injury process, and making sure that I was still there for my teammates, leading them, getting CJ ready. Just making sure that they're in the right mindset as well, because I know they look at me as a leader and a captain. So just keeping my head held high and kept going.
I got to give it to CJ. Didn't have the best game, but as a junior's first starting varsity game to play against St. Ed's, I think he did pretty good. I don't know what I would have done my first start against St. Ed's. Yeah, starting against St. Ed's, your first start is rough. When I heard we were playing St. Ed's, I don't think I've ever gotten more excited in my life, because I love big games, and COVID screwed it up for me because I wanted to play at Lakewood. I wanted to have all the fans. I wanted everything. That would have been awesome. But you guess there was a lot of people there still a big team, big game, and I had fun playing against them. Some kids going some big places, tackling some people, and it was just fun. It was fun. I hate to lose. The end result, that was disappointing. But I love playing in those games. I love the pressure, and I love the competitiveness. It's just such a great feeling.
Some flashes of brilliance by our young quarterback who's going to have to carry us through the second season, which is the playoff season. Everybody makes it, and we will be facing the winner of the Willoughby South Madison game in 2 weeks. Harborough in the shotgun. Motion by Holland. Comes back the other way. Run inside trap. Going back to the left. Scrubs the hole. Rogers sees another. Cuts back. And he's into the end zone. Rogers with a fine run of 37 yards.
As the captains, we nominated Andre Rogers to be a captain because, it just shows for itself. He doesn't say a word. He just works. He does all his work in school. Everything's turned in. He's got great grades. Always works hard. You always see him working. Always see him running or lifting.
Good call there by the referees, and finally a penalty does go our way.
Let's go in the first count and get it over with. Jackson, and he's in. He's in. He's in. He's in. So one possession, first possession of the second half for the Bengals, and they're able to score on the drive to put them up 20-0.
There we go. That's what we needed there.
It was really exciting. It was my first playoff game. I haven't played in a playoff game since like Pop Warner, because like we didn't get playoff games as freshmen. So it was really exciting for me.
I knew he was a really good running back. I remember he was injured for the beginning of freshman year, but for the latter half of the season, freshman year, he was amazing. He was incredible to block for. And I'm excited to block for him for the next 2 years.
So Yarborough looks like he's going to stay on the center. Rogers in the backfield. Throws it. He's open. He catches it. And it's a touchdown, Conkle. So 9-yard touchdown throw, and a beautiful throw by Yarborough, by the way. His best.
We had a bye week the week before. And I remember during practice, Sawyer was blocking, and something happened to his hand, and he like kind of just went off to the trainer's room. So I was practicing for the rest of the day. And I remember later that day in the locker room, Coach Kobe told me that I was going to be starting at left tackle for that game. Running scout team, having to block guys like Greg or Jolly, who are incredible defensive linemen, and it made me a lot better player. So if it wasn't for them, the transition wouldn't have been that easy to start.
Each of us brings a little something different to the table. You know, Sawyer is kind of that just relentless motor, you know, that just, you know, he knew where he was going there fast, and he was going to hit you really hard. Jolly was kind of the anchor of that line. He let his opponents know we were all about business.
Because I am a hilarious guy on the field. I do not stop talking. If you ask anybody on the field with me, I do not stop talking.
Luke, he's kind of the brains of the operation. He made sure everyone was on the same page, and he made sure that we knew what was going on that play. Brandon was a very strong, physical player who, you know, he stepped up to be a leader when he needed to be, and he helped anchor down the line. And I just think all of us, and even though we all had different personalities and different strengths and different weaknesses, we all blended together, you know, very well. And the best trait about us all is when it counted, we showed up and we'd get the job done.
Gales and Conklin flanked out. Jackson gets the football. He wiggles his way through the line, and he breaks away. And my. Yarborough in the center, gives it to Jackson again. They're running him. He's going around. He's in for the touchdown. So Jackson scores back-to-back touchdowns for the Bengals here at the beginning of the fourth quarter. He has one in the third and one in the fourth quarter.
When it got pushed back on Friday night, we were all so mad. I mean, that was probably the most excited any of us have ever been to play a football game for Benedictine. And to have it canceled like that, it was crazy. I mean, we were literally at school for like 12 hours before that game.
You do get on an emotional high. You really have to, and it is exhausting, you know, to come down from that, to not let it out, and then 24 hours later, have to build it all back up again.
I think we started off in the worst way we could have. We had a turnover fumble that they were already in the red zone. I think it was on the 20-yard line or something. I think they scored in the next 3 plays. I mean, so right off the bat, they had the momentum. And in a playoff game like that, I mean, momentum is everything. They got the ball back, and I mean, they have a great running back over there. They're really well coached. Great O-line. I mean, when you have the momentum, it's very, very easy to keep on building on the momentum. So, I mean, something had to go right for us to get the momentum back and start playing Benedictine football, and which we did.
We had been there before, and we'd been down worse the year before against Brecksville. So that all those seniors out there, even the few juniors that were out there playing, they knew that we were just fine. But you do have to be really patient. It's not something you can just rush, and the biggest part of it is you have to keep your composure, and you can't just start doing stupid plays and missing your assignment and just running like a chicken with your head cut off. You have to be really disciplined and mentally tough as a team to fight through that. And that's part of the reason I think especially the offensive line group is so special, because we fought through a lot that game. We were able, in my opinion, to give us a spark to get back into that game.
So Gary, he's a great kid. When we started off the year, I thought, okay, he'll be a linebacker, but he's a running back. That's what I thought. That's what he started off with. And he ran the ball hard against Harding. And he, against Hoban, I think was the most impressive thing when he was running the ball. He was running kids over. He was going to getting touchdowns and everything. So I was really impressed with that. But then I really started noticing his effect on defense. And him and my boy Terrence, they are some crazy good linebackers.
I just feel like everybody, you know, we trusted each other right there. You know, we trusted that somebody was going to get it, you know, and it just happened to be Gary.
Again, victory formation. Shanahan takes a knee. The Archbishop Hoban Knights 37, the Benedictine Bengals 0.
That was a terrible feeling. You know, I did not want it to be over at all. I just remember I hugged my dad and I hugged my brother and I took my helmet off. And my brother, he graduated in 16 and he knows how it feels because his senior year they lost in the second or third round of the playoffs. And he said, hey, nope. He said, put your helmet back on and just take it in for a second. So I kept my helmet on. I just looked around a little bit, you know, picked some people up. You know, not much else to do. You know, it's over. Just took a slow walk back to the locker room, but I didn't want to take my equipment off. I was sitting there on the bench. I was just looking down the ground like, this is it. I'll never put this back on. So I was like, I don't want to take it off because I won't be able to put it back on. So I sat there for a good amount of time just thinking, yeah, it was rough. And I took it off, and that's that.
I was hurt. I shed a tear because like all the seniors was crying and stuff. So I shed a tear. I was hurt. I wanted to win. I wanted the seniors to really win so like they can go out with a state championship on their belt. But like, I was hurt after the game. I was seeing all the seniors cry and the coaches cry and telling everybody go be great and stuff. That really broke me down. So I was messed up after the game a little bit.
Hoban's been a dominant team for, you know, the past 5-6 years now. So I guess, I don't know, the fact that we've played them so tough, knowing that we lost to the guys who won the state championship, you know, I think it's understandable. And we competed with them earlier in the year, so everyone knows that we can compete with that team. We had such a great experience this year, and those guys are going to be even more prepared for next year.
So we finished 4-5. Our 4 wins were Warren G. Harding, St. Vincent St. Mary, Willoughby South, and Walsh Edgewood, which are all really good teams. And then our 5 losses were to Archbishop Hoban, Massillon, Washington, St. Ed's, Austintown Fitch, and Archbishop Hoban again, which if anybody who knows Ohio football knows, all of those teams are really good and top teams in the state. So it's not like we were playing the same schedule as last year and we lost like 5 games to like teams that weren't that good. We lost to some of the top teams in the state. And we competed in a lot of those games too.
It was a feeling of I could have did a little bit more, or I wish I did a little bit more. Going throughout the season this year and last year, all the time I had with Coach Good, he was basically preaching, the last time you touch the field, don't be one of those people that have that thought in their head that say, I wish I could have did a little bit more. And I was kind of disappointed in myself because I felt like I could have did just a little bit more.
Playing football here, home of the champions, we don't care who we go up against. We feel that we could beat anybody with the talent that we have here. And going into the year, we felt that way too. I mean, I felt like we were the most talented class that Benedictine has seen in a while, and we truly believe that. And we wanted to come out and we wanted to prove our point, and we didn't care who we played. We wanted to play those teams because ultimately that's what gets us better. So I mean, it was a fun season. Obviously, us seniors. I mean, I think the whole team, coaching staff wanted to end different. We had different plans, but I mean that's what happens. You just kind of have to roll with the punches.
Yeah, when the clock hit 0, I mean, I kind of felt a rush of emotions. Kind of sad that it's all over. Kind of thinking of, oh, that's it. This is my last time putting on that Flying B. So it was a really tough moment for me. After all the 4 years playing football here, in this special place.
Definitely hurt. That I won't be playing with my family no more. But it just gave me a time to reflect and tell me that it's time to get better. I'm about to go play Division I football at Howard, so it was definitely a time to tell me that it's time to get better and achieve a higher level of my abilities. So
I got third team, and don't get me wrong, I'm very thankful for that, very grateful, but I think that just adds a little more fire to me, honestly. I want to go start as a freshman at my college at Robert Morris. I want to start as a freshman. I want to get drafted. I want to do everything. I want to be better than everyone thinks I am. Chris, second team, Marv, third team, and Darrell, third team. Those are some great players. Chris is probably one of the most athletic kids I've ever met. I remember freshman year, and his legs were just huge, and I was like looking at this kid, I was like, what is this? Like, I couldn't believe it. And there's through the years how he developed to what the player he is today, I think is even more impressive. How he kept working and kept building himself up, how he took the extra days to go with our quarterback and throw and catch, I think is really impressive. I think he really deserves it. And then those young guys, Marvin, Darrell, those are great players. And Darrell already with his 4 offers, and Marv doesn't have anything yet, but I think something's gonna come out of nowhere, and it's gonna be bigger than we all think. Because they're both really great kids and insanely athletic kids.
Coach Good always told us, leave it better than we found it, and I think that's what we did. I mean, I think what we built our junior and senior year is gonna help for the foundation of the next 4 years and the years coming after that. So I think we truly left Benedictine football better than when we came in.